Big Bank. Depth sentence, 1 down, difficulty guide. So, now we're moving on to my favorite heist under the contractor, the dentist, with his very first task with the Big Bank.
Opportunity is a haughty goddess who wastes no time with those who are unprepared.
And now we have pre-planning. Back once again. For my stuff I pick, I'm gonna do it stealth this time. I will do loud later this evening, since I did kind of give like a little vote of which one should I tackle for this guide, stealth or loud. There are people who want it loud, there's people who want stealth, so I'll do both. But for now, I'll do stealth. So for my escape,
Is the whole team?
of course I picked the elevator trick. Since I'm going for all loot, as always, I
Ammunition.
would have the
Can you ever have too much of it?
ammo bag placed on the Vault Hall North. Since there's gonna be deposit boxes and
It will be in position.
more body bag case, I place it in the manager's office.
It will happen.
I, of course, will have the spare key card in the management corridor. And I know a lot of people use the points
Reducing the
cake
number of
for
security guards on site.
entry hall here, but I have a little trick of trying to get lower guards pretty much away from the area. And I'll just use the desk to unlock
This will make your entry much easier.
this particular window. Just in case if I had to hack
Excellent.
the
Time to put it to the test.
terminal from the second floor. So my loadout is pretty much straightforward, same as the Big Bank, except I now have the Pocket ACM device, which is the hacker perk deck. And I'll explain what does the hacker perk deck do in stealth.
It's a beautiful building, but we're bringing ugly business. We'll need codes to get deeper in, so look for their servers. You know the drill. Watch for the guards and cameras. Keep civilians in check. Look around for keycards and the bank manager. Anything that might help.
So what I like to do is scout the place and find the key cards. Of course, there's 3 ways to get the key card in this heist. One is finding it in one of random locations in the behind one of the staff's desk. It could be found on the first floor, the second floor. Also, it can be found in the CAF or in the manager's office. There we go, we got a key card here. I'll show you the other locations. Of course, there's a possibility of a key card spawn around here.
That's the server room. Get inside and get me connected.
It can also spawn right behind these counters, behind this counter, behind or on top of these tables. And it can also found in the manager's office on their desk. So I found one of the server room's location, which is right with the door icon. Another location for it can be found on straight in this wall. And another one is close, right beside the tellers on that wall, right there.
Camera, stay back.
Now, unfortunately,
Camera.
update 1.51, which they now actually add Titan cameras in the Big Bank.
Let's hit it.
Before that update, it was just regular cams, so you can able to destroy it.
Patch me in. I can do some mischief from here. Damn it. Looks like we need local access. Most likely one of the staff terminals. Figure out which one. Try them all if you have to.
That's no longer the case, so I have to be very, very careful where I place my shots. Especially... Okay, looks like it's very much in the open.
Nothing to worry about here. Keep controlling control.
Nice.
I don't have to remind you, every hostage is an asset.
Follow!
Oh, come on.
Follow me!
Okay, you know what?
Stop it! Don't kill civilians!
Got it.
I seized the hostage. That'll slow them down for a little while.
The radio is near my crotch. My boner pressed the button, not me.
Okay, what I did there was the ability of the Hacker Protect. The Hacker Protect replaces your throwable with the Pocket ACM. As the name suggests, you pretty much have a temporary ACM. Once you activate it in stealth, all electronics are disabled.
Camera.
Just
stay
like
back.
a fully upgraded ACM jammer would. That way I can able to kill the guard without the camera being spotted at all. So it gives me enough time to, you know, ragdoll the corpse out of the way and enter the pager right here. Of course, behind this painting will be a safe, which usually contains a key card or not. But I will place a drill here later. There's usually what I like to do here is there's usually 3 managers or 4 managers are roaming around. Here's the first one. And of course, that bank manager sometimes will have a key card, so since I have the 2 key cards with me, the one in the safe does not have anything inside. The 3 manager you're looking for is, of course, one with the African American lady with the red suit, a very elderly woman in a nice black dress, another young manager lady in a purple suit, and of course the bank manager in the black suit. And there will be 2 guards roaming as well. So I like to take them out before I make my move, because if I may end up meeting them when I try to do all this, and it's also worse if you get a camera kind of spots you. So that's one of the managers, so I'm just waiting to get it out. And this is probably the sole reason why I changed my perk deck from the burglar to the hacker. Especially for these cams here, because the camera operator is in the other side of the room, which is the in the interval area. Okay, here's one of them. Looks like
You want a massacre here?
do this. Well, that taking care of the managers. Now I should be okay. So I pretty much have this area here between this hallway and mostly the upper floor locked down. So you still have to be careful around here when you mask up. Once you mask up, the whole lobby here, it's pretty much hot lava because you have these infinite amount of spawn of civilians outside. So you just have to be careful. And watch out for the camps.
Connecting. We can only do them one at a time. So fingers crossed this is the right one.
Usually in the first floor, you usually contain 4 staff terminals active. So make sure you get the lucky one.
That was the wrong terminal. Keep trying. Look for some clue. Clock is ticking, and we need to find the right one.
Yeah, to find the clue, it's of course having 2 players will be a lot easier because you can have one in the server room, still trying to get inside, but they'll have that mix of noise.
No code. Try another one.
It has like a saying into it. I don't know what the saying is,
Accessing now.
which helps you find which is the staff terminal you need.
Alright, got the code. Start the time lock.
Okay, I guess I was lucky. Of course, now this enter here.
Now we wait for the timeline
Use
to
one
run
of the
down.
key cards.
Did I ever tell you about my grandpa and his heisting days?
And that's when I grab the other key card. Yeah, don't touch the laser. Now, you, according to 2 key cards you place in, we'll disable the lasers. Now, if I would have to get the correct staff terminal in the 2nd floor, which is the worst part about it, I would go up the roof and use that window here that I bought in the asset to unlock it. That way I can get onto the beam and just drop down safely. So that way I don't have to worry about the other staffs, you know, eyeing on the doorways. And also, if you kill too many civilians, you know, at the very few start, you have a phone call from the from GenSec. They'll find maybe a little bit suspicious, and we'll call the 2 blue cops to investigate. But another possibility will happen during that is that the elevators will open, and it usually contains 2 people to check on things. There's usually either a guard or 2, or a civilian in a white suit. Either 1 or 2 of them spawns in. So you mostly have to deal with that. Well, at the same time, it should
Make sure no one else comes near the
place a loud drill. The reason I have the loud drill here is...
gang, elevators are on the move. Expect company.
Is because I want to have the guards in the inner room to get hearing the noise, but since they're not programmed to move out of their area, it makes them get stuck.
Someone answer the phone.
Stuck in the staircase.
Good afternoon. You're through to the Benevolent. This is Martin.
Jen over at GenSec here. So, we detected an unscheduled activation of the time lock there. Everything okay?
Is that a fact? Let me just, I see it. The calendar is messed up. Everything is fine. Gonna take a while to sort this, so maybe just ignore any alerts from here today.
I hear ya. All right, no problem. Just try and keep us in the loop next time.
Roger that. You guys are doing a great job. Bye. Sucker fell for it.
Okay, so we were in the clear because so we've never run any problems, so that's good. And I'm gonna leave that drill there. This is normally I would do it if I go for all loot, because try and bypass all those guards while carrying all loot
You're doing great. Try and keep
is gonna take a long time.
Now, the vault has 3 steps to open it. First is in the bag. Just go there and use the fingerprint scanner.
Now I'm just waiting for one more person. And I think that's the other one. Okay, sweet, we got no guards, which is good. Okay, once I deal with him, I can just go into the inner vault area. Yeah, I probably did that drill, placing the drill probably a little bit too late, but I just want to make sure if I place it like a bit too early and a 7-leader walks here or a guard sees this, they get and they, they get detected it, they pull out their gun, and if the camera spots it here, I probably would have blown it stealth right there. Alright, now I can go here. Now here, this will have more guards, more pager guards, compared to the, in the lobby.
Look out, God.
Yeah, even if they do hear the drill and the doors are open, they are not programmed to go through these doors.
God.
Those keys will open the doors in the vault. That should help.
Yeah, there are a lot of locations to find the keys for the door. I think one of the favors in pre-playing, it will show you the location of where the keys are, which in my opinion is a waste of a favor, because you could just find it pretty much all the locations on the map.
Watch out, guard.
And this is why I have the ammo bag here, so that way I could get some ammo for my saw.
Don't ask me where I got that thumb. Now, verify identification for the security consoles. Shouldn't be a problem. That's the first console. Now the second.
Guard.
Alright, there's one of the guards got stuck, so that's good.
Great. Now, the last step. Find the manager's code. It should be on his computer.
Okay, since I have 2 pagers left, I could use it, one of them, for the cameraman.
Yeah, I was wondering. What does the fuck say?
Try and make some room. Oh, I had it! Okay, you know what? I might have to take this with me. Unless I could do that. Yeah, they shouldn't really see that. Yeah, you can also hide the bodies right in this corner here, and they won't go to there. Just in case if you can't, you know, have the security room open.
Connected. Let's see what we have. Got the code. Get back to the vault.
Alright, now with the cameras offline, I don't have to deal with the cameras. Okay, let's see, he goes towards it. But yeah, he stopped right there, and then once he hears it, he stops and he just changed to another direction, and then he's supposed to get stuck. Just like that. Now, it may be a cheap tactic, but it does help you on the time.
Watch out.
Especially, especially in this area if you want to go for all loot. I mean, this little drill trick, or I don't know, a glitch or a bug, has always been there since day one, so I don't think they're having any time to fix it. And I think it was meant intention to
patrol.
have the drill when it's loud, so they can hear the noise.
It worked. Great job, everyone.
Pička ti materina! Got it.
I I mean, after all, not every stealth you do, you don't always need to have a silent drill. After all, most people would use a loud drill to lure the guards to them, so they can actually separate the guards from the civvies. I mean, just like you do in, well, like most people do in Firestarter Day 3.
All doors have keys. If you want to do this quietly, find the keys.
Where people would place a loud drill on the door where you had to shut down the electricity or the electrical from the
I got the vent in the garage, but you need to go through the elevator shaft.
And that way they can lure the guards. And once everything's you know, in the clear, they have one of the players with the drill skills now upgrade the drill to make a silence, so they can actually drill much more effective. So yeah, the silent way to open these is, of course, with the keys. You can have of course, the silent drill as well, but since I don't have that, I have to use the keys. Of course, in the vault, how many you have the gates you have to open, well, depends on the how much you have. So for me, I have like 7, which is quite a, even though you may get 7 a lot, it doesn't mean it might contain a lot of loot. Some doors, of course, some gates will contain nothing, and they usually give you a lot of money here. And also at least 4 gold outside of the deposits. Always make sure to place the bags out of sight of any guards to see. Also, another cool thing about the hacker perk is that you can also activate the pocket ACM when you're during the middle of an interaction, especially when you're answering a pager or lockpicking a door. So that way you don't have to do the camera loop and then you can lockpick it. You can just lockpick it, then you can activate the pocket ACM. Of course, you only have it for 6 seconds, but if you use 2 of them, of course, that means you have 12 seconds as most. And unlike the ACM jammer equipment, the pocket ACM, it's a recharge, and the ACM jammer is only a 1 use for 30 seconds if you have all the skills. While the pocket ACM doesn't need any skills from the Shinobi subtree to be more effective. All you had to do is just unlock it from the first deck of the perk deck. Alright, now it's time to crack open the deposit boxes. guards as usual. Be careful for any guards
Guard on patrol.
that are roaming around. Now I switched my drill skills for the assault skills. Mainly I couldn't able to use as my secondary, but I don't really need it because the judge is pretty much the highest concealing shotgun. But of course I'll get the ace for the assault skill. I think it's called portable assault ace, where you just get replace your regular blades with carbon blades. All it does is it just gives you more damage. And I think it also gives you a little bit more ammo as well, so which is nice. That means less time to travel back to the ammo bag and to crack more deposit boxes. I probably would have the sharp blade on, but I have the durable blade instead because I do like having a bit more rounds and I guess more blades and more ammo for it. And also, just be careful if you have the deposit boxes either here or here, because if you have the security room up here, the likely chances of the camera guy will hear the noise of the saw. So just be careful.
Guard on patrol.
Okay, I think these are the only two guards that are just walking around. I think everyone else it's stuck. Yeah, okay. There's usually totally 5 guards in the inner vault.
Look out, guard. Watch out, guard. Guard on patrol.
So unfortunately, a lot of the loot contained the money. I mean, although it does help me to speed up things a bit faster, but the payout won't be as big compared to, well, getting like the gold in the deposit boxes. Just double checking. And just watch out for the 2 guards. if I could get one, you know, get stuck, we should be in the clear. That way I can deal with one of the guards and it makes things a lot more easy. He might be the fourth victim. Oh, yep, he is. And he should be stuck where the other spot where the guards don't have. Let's see. Alright, these are the 4 guards, so the last remaining roaming
Now
guard.
calm down and get the bags to the van. Watch your step.
I could dispatch him. But first, I need to find him.
Stay back, camera.
Okay, there he is.
Look out, guard. Apologies, Control. Nothing to report.
And there we go, that's all the 4-pager I can answer. And since they're all stuck, I can actually move the bags freely and safely. Of course, this machine, or this here, is you can only do it along with the Nimble Ace. But if there's like a camera watching this, or a guard, I don't know, like stand still right here for some reason, you can actually lockpick it, but behind this wall, so that way you can have a lot more protection at the back and not really most exposed as yourself in the front. And open that, you get, you know, large amount of money. Okay, with all this, I could just now walk freely in the elevator shaft. Yeah, before the big bank got, you know, a few changes, it did got a map buff, mostly lowering some of the favors on the certain stuff you were planning on. Before the Thermite, planning was different. It will cost you 8 favors, and that will pretty much, if you use that, that means you have a faster entry point, but that means you won't have the escape route, which at the time it was the bus stop, which was the best escape, and that was only cost them a very mere of 6 favors as opposed to 8 with the Thermite. So, an update later, they actually did buff the big bank with the favors, with, now they reduced the favors from 3, so now we have a total of 5 favors for the Thermite, which is nice. That's pretty much half of the favors you use for pre-planning. It just gives more chance for players to actually use that option, as opposed to always stick to the, you know, the bus stop. And as for the other escapes, they were at 6 as well. The C4 tunneling, which is on this wall here, and the elevator trick I pretty much have. They were both originally at 6 favors, but of course the update, just like they update the Thermite, they now give it a reduce. They reduce the favors by 3, so it's now a 3 favors, as opposed to 6. The only one they kept at 6 favors is the bus stop. Considering that this is probably the most popular spot, because if you get the, definitely if you get the vault door here, and if you get the bus stop escape, you pretty much have an easy win. Because you can just chuck the bags here in the open, you know, here, grab it, make your way to the van, no problem. But of course you have the thermite trick. You will never gonna get this vault door here if you have the thermite trick. You will never have it. So you're only gonna have it either around here, here, or here, in those 3 areas. Never here if you have the thermite. And so, since with the reduce of the favors, you can actually pair the thermite and the elevator trick, which I've been, well, gonna use it for a loud later. But that would be the plan I would use for a loud. Of course, have the thermite and the elevator trick, which in both total would cost me an actual 8 favors, where in the original it would have took me a lot more. It would probably took me like 14 favors, which you couldn't get 14 favors in the big bank. And you can also pair with another deployable, like maybe a medic bag, or you know, speed the time lock. And of course, usually my normal playthrough of this, before they, you know, buff with the favors and the big bank, I would have to take all the loot all the way outside to the van, and one of the worst parts was trying to get the loot secured inside the van when you're on the, I guess the balcony when you go outside, like for a smoke, where those civilians go, and the guards. And you have to make sure you land on top of the vehicle. Because if you miss your jump, and you miss landing on top of the van, you will pretty much go down due to fall damage. So I'm glad they actually, you know, adjusted to a little to make it a lot more, I would say, user friendly, and mainly to stop people using the, you know, the bus stop all the time. Which I don't see a lot of people use it now anymore, now that people are gonna use the thermite and the elevator trick. Probably the 2 most powerful combinations in loud now, because you can avoid a lot of very exposed objectives. Which of course I will explain to those later on when I do this loud. Oh yeah, if you played the Big Bank now in this update on Overkill and below, and you destroy one of the cameras, one of the guards will go and investigate the camera, so you have to make sure you deal with the guard. But if you deal with all the guards in the lobby, and you broke one of the cameras, you know, where you are, but then a guard from the interval, which is here, got a call from the you know, the camera operator to go investigate the camera, but he can't go outside the area, so he has mostly become permanently stuck. But you can't do this on Mayhem and above because you have Titan cameras, and you can't, well, you can't break them because they're all proof. They're bullet, they're grenade, they're saw, and shock proof. But they're definitely not jammer proof. You know, actually it would be kind of cool if you're able to actually can, you know, open the, you know, the bottom lid with the saw, and that way you can actually destroy the camera from the inside. It will make a nice little more utility for the saw, but of course they had to make it, you know, actual cameras that you can't take out easily. Now we're just about done. I can usually get up to between 22 to 24 loot. Depends how many there are a lot. And the variety.
You can finish this when you want, but grab as much as you can.
And we have, exactly 24.
It took 200 years, but the benevolent bag has finally been robbed. Outstanding work.
So yeah, it took a while since I go for all loot. But it's mainly just the timing. I had to wait it out to deal with the bank managers and the guards in the lobby. But everyone will always have something differently, you know, different approach on how they do the big bank. So thanks for watching. Until next time, well, later this evening, then I will be doing the big bank loud. Until then, farewell.